in the first part we have learned about all these areas. Okay, this is the computer lesson 1, fundamentals of computer. Okay, and we have learned up to um, this one. Okay, the several types of ROM, and today we will start with differences between RAM and ROM. RAM stands for random access memory, whereas ROM stands for read only memory. RAM is volatile memory, whereas ROM is not volatile memory. RAM stores data temporarily, while ROM stores data permanently and keeps it saved even when computer is turned off. RAM is power dependent. It means that if the power supply is cut off, all the informations are erased. RAM is used by the CPU either to read data from it or to write data into it. ROM is used by CPU to only read the data. Okay, and so these are the differences. Already we have learned about RAM, okay, and ROM. Okay, see, these are the differences. Already we have learned about ROM, what is non-volatile and what is volatile. Okay, and see, RAM is almost okay. These are the things given here, and it is a volatile memory because it is a fast and temporary type of memory. Okay, RAM is a temporary and ROM is a permanent one. Okay, and we can see that these are the name difference, and this is the memory, the permanent and temporary. Okay, and RAM stores data temporarily, whereas the ROM stores the data permanently. Okay, that is also depend upon the power supply. When the computer is switched off, then the information erased. Okay, and for that it doesn't need any, even after switch off the computer, the data will be saved. Okay, and cache memory stores recently used information so that it can be quickly accessed at a later time. A special area in RAM is reserved for cache memory. Okay, so this is even you can find it in the mobile phone also. Okay, this is a temporary and recently used memories are stored up here. Okay, so as we have learned, this RAM is a volatile. Okay, and it is it can save the data very easily, and it also can be missed after the computer is switched off. Okay, the same way this memory, there is a part A for this cache memory, so the recently accessed area is stored up there in the RAM. Okay, and see, CPU, cache memory and main memory. So these are the functions. Okay, it is high speed memory that is present between the CPU and the main memory. Okay, it is located at the place from where the content can be picked up by CPU very quickly. This type of memory aids in improving the performance speed of the CPU. In recent times, high-speed independent device working as cache memory are installed in the CPU. Okay, this is this cache memory is the high-speed memory. Okay, just you click on something, immediately it will take up. Okay, so every recent access area is stored up here, and you can use it very easily. Okay, and nowadays there is a high-speed independent device is installed in the CPU. Okay, and secondary memory devices or external memory or mass memory. There are certain devices, namely hard disk, CDs, and hard memory cards, which are used to store data on a computer. These devices are called secondary memory or external memory. Okay. Classification of digital computers. Microcomputer. A microcomputer is a complete personal computer or PC. It is a computer designed for an individual. It works on single microprocessor. A microprocessor is a computer processor in which all the components are a part of a single integrated circuit or chip. They are used by a single person at a time. Desktop computer used in offices, schools, homes, etc. are microcomputer. See here, we have learned about the secondary memory. Normally we use lot of secondary memory. Nowadays we have pen drives, CDs, and hard disk. These are external. We can connect and store the data, and we can take it away. Okay, and we can disconnect and take it away. And this is for our personal record. Okay, we can have it. And so next level we are going to learn about the classification of digital computers. Okay, there are different classifications. First one is microcomputer. So this is a complete personal computer. Okay, usually people are having it in their houses. Okay, it is a single microprocessor. Okay, it is computer processor in which all the components are and part of a computer are integrated circuit in single way. Okay, it's a part of a single integrated circuit chip, and this is the use of a single person. And normally we can see it in office, schools, and all. It is a single use. Okay, and many computers have more processing power. It comprises to microcomputers. In comparison to microcomputer, they are used as servers and multi-user system. Okay, here we have only one processor where only one person can use at a time. But here many computers are known as a what we call it is server. Okay, and many computers can be connected here. Okay, they can store more memory than the microcomputers. A large number of devices can be attached to the mini computers. Okay, and even many offices like in banks and all, you can find these kind of servers. Many can be connected, and large amount of data can be stored up. And mainframe computers, these types of computers are very large and expensive. Many mainframe computers have a large memory and can even store more data than mini computers. It can be used by 100 users and can be connected through mainframe computers. The IBM system Z9 is an example of mainframe. See, and this is a little more advanced than the mini computers. Okay, and here we can connect 100 users at a time. Okay, and this is also very huge in storing data. Okay, and this is simply, you can understand, we have a microcomputer. It is a personal one, single use, and mini computers, it is little larger, and it can be used as a server, and multiple users can access this. And the third one, mainframe computer, it is very large and highly expensive, and it can be accessed by 100 users. Okay, and there is one more computer, supercomputer. They are the most powerful computers, okay, in terms of processing speed and memory. Okay, and it can process billions of instructions per second, and are very expensive. See, billions of access can be, in our computer. If you are working with computer, you can know, if you open 2-3 browsers or any other activities, if you do 2-3 activities, the computer's processing will be very slow. It will slowly slow down its process. But here in supercomputer, billions of instruction can be given per second. see how fast it could be. It is very powerful in processing and in speed and also in memory. Okay, and okay, these supercomputers are used in scientific research, weather forecasting, underground study. So this is all government undertaken computers. Okay, and this is all about the first lesson. Okay, we can recall it. A computer pursue an IPO cycle. Already we have seen it, and data are given to computer via input devices. Yeah, we know it. We give input devices like keyboard, mouse, or camera. We give it, mic and all those things. And it is CPU is a small hardware component that execute all the instruction. Okay, and we know CPU is the main part of a computer, and we have primary memory in two types, RAM and ROM. Okay, and we have learned about various types of ROM, and we have learned about cache memory, and we have learned about the external memories, and we have learned about various types of computers. Okay, you got it? Fine. Okay, we will go through the exercise part. Okay, here we can do all this exercise. Okay, okay, there are dash stages in IPO system. So how many stages are there? There are 3 stages. Okay, you can tick over here. Okay, there are how many stages are there? 3. And the dash performs the calculation and sends back into the memory, that is ALU, or arithmetic logic unit. Okay, fine. And dash comprises of valid facts and figures, which are commonly called data, that is instruction. Okay, instruction are called instruction comprises of valid facts and figures. Okay, and fourth, dash computers are used in offices, schools and homes. So that is microcomputer. Okay, microcomputer. And dash is defined as a central storage in a computer, that is main memory. Okay, main memory is defined as a central storage. A computer works on the principle of input, process, output. Okay, input, process and output. Okay, fine. So you can do all the exercise here, and the process is done with the help of CPU. Okay, all the processes are done with the help of CPU. Okay, here we can do the fillings. A computer follows dash cycle. What cycle computer follows? Input, output. Okay, IPO process, input, output process. Okay. Dash are generally used as a server in the multi-user system. That one is mainframe mini computer. Sorry. Mini computers are used as a generally used as a server. And third, cache memory is a high-speed memory located between, and it is CPU and the main memory. CPU and the main memory. Dash is the responsible for all type of calculations and operations. That is already seen, ALU, or arithmetic logic unit. Okay, dash and dash are primary memories. That is ROM, ROM and RAM. RAM. RAM is seen inside the CPU in the form of a chip. 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 Okay. So you can do all the fillings. Okay. And here we're going to do true or false. Mini computers are also called personal computers. Mini computers, no. So many computers are generally used as a server, so it is false. And RAM is a volatile memory. RAM is a volatile memory. Yes, it's true. And cache memory is low speed memory located in the main memory. Of course, it is located in the main memory, but it is a high speed, so it is false. Okay. The IBM system Z9 is an example of mainframe computer. Yes, it is true. And EEPROM data can be deleted electronically and can be rewritten later. It is true. Check it once again. Okay, that's wrong. That is wrong answer. Okay, that is EEPROM. This is a false. So EEPROM cannot be rewritten. Okay, fine. Here ALU, it is calculations, performs calculations. Okay, supercomputers, so this is APRAM. Okay, and RAM is a volatile memory. Okay, and ROM is a non-volatile memory. Okay, 4. And 5, desktop, it can be used in homes, schools and offices. 5. And input devices are mouse and keyboard. Okay, so these are the things, so you can finish it off in your books. And here we have some question answers. Then for that you can check the description box. You will get the answers. Okay, fine.